The year was 1945. In the Pacific Theater, Japan had been pushed back to mostly only having control of their homeland. As the war raged on, the next logical step was to either invade Japan and risk the loss of both Japanese and American lives, or to use the weapon that would be a defining feature of the war and for the wars to come. The building of the first nuclear bomb in the U.S. was known as the Manhattan Project. Hiroshima was chosen because it had been left untouched by any other types of bombings. The military wanted to make sure that they knew the exact effects of what a nuclear blast could do. Many other cities had been under consideration at some point or another, including Kyoto, which was taken off the list because a military commander had honeymooned there decades ago and did not want to see it be destroyed. So he pleaded with President Truman, and Truman obliged his request. The bomb that was dropped on Hiroshima was called Little Boy. It was considered to be an inefficient blast, as only 1.7% of the uranium actually exploded or fissioned. Another bomb 3 days later was dropped on Nagasaki, called Fat Man. It was a plutonium nuclear arms weapon. The bomber that dropped the little boy was called the Enola Gay. It was named by one of the flight crew members who named it after his grandmother because he wanted to make sure that the plane was remembered just as much as the day would be, because he knew that the first atomic bomb that would be dropped would be a defining moment in the history of the U.S. Enola Gay, the plane, was named after Enola Gay, his grandmother. And on the morning of August 6th, in Hiroshima, there was a flash that could be seen for miles as the atomic bomb exploded. On the left, you can see a picture of the atomic explosion just 4.3 miles from the hypocenter. On the right, you can see a picture found in 2013 from an elementary school just 6 miles away from the hypocenter. And the whole part of Hiroshima, except for a few extremely well constructed cement buildings, fell down. It wasn't until Truman's speech 16 hours after the explosion that the Japanese knew exactly what had happened. There were rumors about what had happened. The telegraph system broke down. The radio stations stopped working. That was from the electromagnetic pulse that came from the nuclear blast. It wiped the whole grid out, and nobody in Japan knew what was going on. As you can see, I've got a few notes that I put in under the slides. I mentioned them in my video. I've got that one for this slide. Got that one there. That one. One for that. Mentioning the grandma and the Enola Gay. And I've got the comment about the nuclear blast being inefficient. And yeah, got all that.